Hey there, my fellow sneak thieves. Rhadamant here. Thank you for tuning in to Project Zomboid Bandit Slayer, Episode 16, Breaking and Entering. So, what to do next in PZ? I can continue improving the base. I can level up skills, which would be metal, electrical, and mechanics. I could head to a VHS store. I could secure the surrounding area, which would be like getting rid of the barricades and that kind of thing. Or viewer suggestions. Things that that you guys have thought of that I haven't. Have you guys vote on that. And while you vote on that, let's get the backpack back on. I also wanted to go upstairs and, or rather go to the roof and make sure that the farm's good. Doesn't look like any of my gear has taken hits. The floodlights, I can't say are producing a lot of light, but they are illuminating immediately around where my truck is, which is helpful. Carrots are flourishing. Potatoes are flourishing. Broccoli's good. Radishes are good. Cabbages are good. Strawberries are good. Tomatoes are good. Yep, everything's good up here. Grain barrels look pretty topped up. Roxy is living the good life. I do need a little bit of food. Canned corn. I still want to drop to about 80 in terms of weight. I don't want to be sitting too heavy or too light. And 80 is what the game says is ideal, so 80 it shall be. Alright, skill grind. Seems like that's what we're gonna do. Hey, I got to sleep through the night. Fantastic. So, we're gonna level up. Level up. Metal working. Electrical and mechanics. I'm not probably going to worry too much about mechanics right now because there's mechanics videotapes that are going to make it a lot easier to do that. So it's mostly metalworking and electrical. And electrical is probably the big one because getting up to electrical 3 gives me electrical stoves and that would be really handy. It also gives me the possibility of having washers and dryers so I can clean my clothes. So there's a big benefit to getting up to that threshold. Alright. I am going to switch the books that I'm holding from Forge 1 to Electrical 2. Because that's the next book I want to read. And then in terms of like leveling up my electrical, my plan is to go into the same wealthier neighborhoods that I was heading to before, and breaking stuff down there. Actually, you know what? I probably don't have to travel too far from home. Let's go start with my own backyard. There's plenty of electrical stuff in this factory, probably, or at least metalwork. And while I'm here, I can just do headlights and taillights, because they, actually, I haven't read the mechanical book, so no, I'm not going to waste time on that. Alright. I think, what's in this factory? I think it's mostly going to be, yeah, there's not a lot in terms of electrical in there, if I'm not mistaken. So never mind. I'm going to go to the residences to go break down TVs and the like. So the best electrical things to break down would be like TVs and computers. They're a big bang for your buck. And that's what I want to level up most. It's pretty easy to get metalworking, because there's just a lot more opportunity around town. Going into homes, going through their plumbing. You know, if you're desperate, you can break down cars, that kind of stuff. The other thing I could try to do, so I'm planning on heading to the gated community area. But maybe what I'll do is I'll start clearing into Riverside systematically, rather than jumping into the sort of the center section. So instead of going directly to the gated community area, I'll start by clearing the homes just as I get into town. Also wanted to check if the bandit had anything of worth. A beat-up pickaxe and a tinfoil hat. Nope. I'm gonna say, not much of worth. Oh, my door is not closed. Let me do that again. If you don't hear the door closing thud, it means your door is technically open. And I believe you can be attacked by zombies through it as a result. Much the way that if your window is rolled down or broken, they can attack you through the door as well. So, important to always keep that door closed, lest you suffer the consequences, and the consequences are dire. Alright, weight is 81 and dropping, so I want to slow down the weight drop-off. And this is the start of Riverside, so we're going to clear from here. What's interesting is because of the bandits, well, at least the bandits will have, like, icons when it's them. But it does make you a little extra jumpy around the meta events, because in vanilla Zomboid, the meta events are always not actual people with actual guns. But now with the bandits, when you hear gunfire, you can't assume that it's a meta event necessarily. You have to, like, check your screen to make sure it's not like a bandit attack. Hey! Don't be naughty. Just die like the rest of them. I wanted to pull a little closer. What's that guy having on his back to the right? Didn't look like a katana. What is that? Alright, let me deal with the zombie that's chasing me first. Probably just a bread knife. Something boring. It is a fire axe. He has a fire axe embedded in his spine. That sounds uncomfortable. So there's a propane tank in here. Let's take it. That'll be good for metalwork. I could obviously take the grill, but propane is like kind of a rarity. It's hard to get your hands on like a lot of propane unless you really go searching for it because there's a finite amount of it. And unlike, oh, there's a party in here. Unlike gasoline, where like you can go to the gas stations and top up, there is no propane station. So you got to be a little more economical about propane usage, meaning I don't want to cook with it. Wow, that took a while. It was weird. I was trying to disassemble the lamp, and my character, like, was fumbling. So just door to door. Let's see. I have electrical 5922 right now. Let's see what it is after this. 64, maybe? 61. Wow, that was not very much experience. And that's boosted, too. Ouch. Hey, a hand torch. So one of them I'm going to dismantle, and then the other one I'm going to keep as my everyday carry flashlight, because I didn't have one, and kind of wanted one. And a spare crowbar. More crowbars in this random person's home than there was in the entire hardware store in Doe Valley. Triggering? Yes. Yes, absolutely triggering. I think the frying pan I have at home... I do have a frying pan at home, so I don't really need to worry about that. The one I have at home is very broken, but it's, like, still intact enough that it's useful. Stale and uncooked? I don't need stale beef. That was the bathroom. And the lover's bedroom. Okay. Looking good. Obviously I got a lot more metalwork out of that than I did electrical, but something. Technically you can forge up a propane tank, but it's hard. I've never done it. So... while I believe you, I can't say that I've ever done that, so I can't even confirm that that's still a thing. One of those trust but verify, right? Oh, okay, that needs to come back. How low is my torch? Oh, it's pretty low. Let's refill it. According to the tables, it's a chance. My response only is just, I'm not looking at the tables, so I don't want to say with, like, any certain... I don't want to take the word of some random person in chat, no offense, because I've definitely been fed wrong information. And for some games like RimWorld, where I have, like, a lot of game knowledge. I can refute things that are wrong when I hear it. But for Project Zomboid, I don't know it in and out like I do a game like RimWorld, so I don't want to tell people, oh yeah, you can forge up propane tanks if I don't know it to be, like, absolutely true myself. That way I'm not a purveyor of rumor. Which is why I'm saying, like, I believe you, but I'm also not going to tell everyone that that is true until they test it for themselves or look it up on the wiki. And even then, I will also go so far as to say, looking up on the wiki isn't, like, definitive proof either. I've certainly seen a lot of information on the wiki, and it's wrong. It's either wrong because it's outdated, or it's wrong because it was never right. So, there's just a lot of bad info. Ooh, this stuff's still fresh. Probably not gonna be fresh for long. It's still fresh. Also, I probably should not be, dismantling stuff in this house until, like, I cleared it. Because there's no like, there could be zombies in here, you know? It's bad form to be just, like, going through nonchalantly. Because it only takes one zombie, like, lurking around the corner and you're dead. Why? Oh, come on, don't all collapse. Any of these books I need? I think all the 1 and 2 books I already have, so no. Yeah, these houses, they have a decent amount of things to dismantle per house. Not to say I think it's, like, the best use of my time, but it's a safe use of my time. Because I don't want to be too far away from the truck, so that if there are bandits, I can, like, sprint to the truck quickly and get away. And I don't want to be too far away from the house, the home, you know, in case I get overwhelmed and need to go somewhere safe. Because, like, imagine a situation of, like, a pack of, like, 5 gunmen that wants to murder me, right? I'm not going to want to be, like, out in the open for very long. Alright, wait! 81 and dropping still, so it's time to eat a little extra. There we go. Slow down the weight loss. Whole box of cereal, that should be enough to... Yeah, okay. Now it's climbing. So let's mark that one on as done. This one has a garage, so I want to go there next. Do intermittent fasting. Little IF dieting. For me, it's like, unless you take the nutritionist perk, which honestly is just not worth it in my opinion. Zigzagging, like being a little too heavy, a little too light. It's like, well, whatever. The consequences aren't that dire. Did I forget my pick? I, like, made a point of bringing the pick, and then I don't have it. Well, there's someone definitely in there. Let's also kill the fire axe man. Axe is not in terrible condition. I don't think I need more axes, though. I have so many axes back home. Shoes. Okay. Just checking for holes. They're still fine. Tailoring 3. Do I need it? I do. Metalwork is getting up there. It's gonna be good because I have a lot of body damage to the car I drive. Running over bandits does a lot of damage. Ooh, a better flashlight. These bigger flashlights are twice the size, but in my opinion, because of how dangerous not having good like line of sight and vision is in the game, because of the bandits, I'd rather have a heavier flashlight. I feel safer. Is that it for here? One more bathroom, maybe? Yep, one more bathroom. That's Metalwork 3. Oh, there's a shed out back. Let's hit it up. The last streamed series I did was called Rad's Guide to Project Zomboid. And if you're new to Project Zomboid, that series is definitely geared towards new players to learn how to play. But if I was to say the one piece of advice I have for new players, it is don't treat Project Zomboid like a crafting survival game when you're trying to learn it. Treat it simply as a combat game, because until you can kill zombies well, Project Zomboid won't be that much fun, and you won't get very far. So don't play like you enter the world and you're looting books and trying to stockpile food and all that stuff, because you're not going to live long enough to even benefit from that. Just find a weapon, kill zombies. Die, repeat, rinse and repeat. And just keep doing that until you get good at killing zombies. That would be my single piece of advice for new players, is get good at killing zombies. In different environments, too. Going through houses, you know, going through neighborhoods, going through high-rises, dense buildings, etc., etc. But get good at killing zombies, because as soon as once you get good at killing zombies, everything, all the other pieces fall into place. Don't worry about dying, it happens, right? And then once you're good at killing zombies, then you will probably also have acquired the knowledge of, like, the situations that are most dangerous, the situations to avoid, when to flee, when to fight, you know, all the other mechanisms that are involved in longer term survival. But If you can't 1v1 a zombie, nothing else matters. You gotta be able to win those 1v1s. Also worth mentioning, there's really truly no shame on playing on easier difficulties either. So if you're struggling, lower the difficulty. Because Zomboid is a sandbox game, and you can change the zombies' aggressiveness and speed and health and all that, or the quantity of zombies, as much as you want. So, you know, if you're really struggling on, like, let's say, Survivor difficulty, just lower it to Builder, or even easier. You know, who cares? The game's supposed to be fun, so if you're not having fun with it, just make it easier until it's fun. For me, you know, I'm a bit of a, you know, people joke that I'm a digital masochist and I play things often on, like, hard difficulties. And it's true. I tend to have most fun when I feel challenged. But, you know, at the end of, like, a long work day, when you're just, like, stressed and you don't have a lot of attention, why put yourself through the ringer? Just lower the difficulty and run around with overpowered weapons that you got from a mod and just massacre zombies. Like, that's a totally legit way to play too. And I would actually go so far as to say, if you really want to get good at the combat quickly, playing on, like, slightly higher population and using mods that start you off with weapons would be ideal. Because if you're trying to get good at the game, you know, the majority of your time should be spent in combat. So modify the game so that you're just in combat all the time. Even if that means, like, installing mods and whatnot. What difficulty is this? This is Apocalypse difficulty, which is the... I mean, there's so many custom settings on Zomboid. Like, you can obviously make it harder if you want. Quite frankly, you can make Zomboid so hard it's unplayable. Like, max pop, everything turned up to 11, like, is basically unplayable. Okay, I'm not climbing through that. I can't see through that curtain. Oh, hello. But Apocalypse is, like, the default highest difficulty without making it harder through custom settings. But actually, I would probably say Survivor is maybe more fun. Because on, okay, there's like a dresser on the other side. On Apocalypse, you can only hit one at a time. So that your speed of your speed to clear high pop buildings is limited to either you using a multi-hit weapon, like a shotgun, using a vehicle, or using fire. Whereas on Survivor difficulty, you can, you know, certain weapons will just, like, absolutely massacre large groups of zombies, and really quickly too. And there's a lot of fun in that, in my opinion. Cooking 3 is a book I don't have, so let's grab that. So on Survivor difficulty, when you have multi-hit, you can just, like, demolish hordes, and it's actually quite enjoyable. Just easier. But it's a double-edged sword, because when things feel easy like that, you'll also take on groups that you otherwise wouldn't have on harder difficulties, meaning that, like, it might be easier, but you'll be more reckless, or often you're more reckless as a result. Stale stuff I don't need. Hey, Roy. Thank you for the resub, too. You know, I think what I'm going to do, in case I want a washer and dryer, is leave this stuff here for future me. Well, where's the closest? There's actually a laundromat right there. So no, never mind. There's a laundromat even closer, so I might as well just shred this stuff. Like, even me playing right now, I'm breaking a lot of cardinal rules. Like, one kind of cardinal rule I have is clear the house before you loot. Because when you're looting, you're... Yeah, see? You usually have your back turned, and you're vulnerable, and it's best to, you know, clear the house and secure the exits and all that before you start rooting through the cabinets and shelves. Ooh, beta blockers. Not that I really need that. But there being potential combat situations, I should try to lower my encumbrance as much as possible. They probably broke through the door. I generally try not to put things in my backpack if I can help it, because you transfer things in and out of your own inventory faster than you can your backpack. So if you put everything in your backpack, it just takes longer to put it away in the car or wherever it's going to ultimately end up. But in this situation, with the with obviously there being combat nearby, backpacking it's ideal. Also, it's getting kind of late in the day, so I ought to get home. So this would be the last house I do. I'm getting drowsy. Hydrate, huh? Cheers. Did I actually put away that gas can? That felt too quick. Okay, I think we've cleared this house out enough that it can mark it off. I don't think there's anything special left in there. Only 5 homes. It's not a lot, but... Metalwork did level up, and electrical got about halfway to 2. Electrical grind is, takes a while. Unless you're in Louisville. There are some buildings in Louisville that are just, like, full of computers, and you can hit electrical 3 without too much stress and effort. But out here in the sticks, where there ain't too many computers, it's a wee bit harder. So while I drive home, how about you guys decide what I am doing next? Would sleeping in an apartment block be super detrimental to the Bandit mod? Yeah, probably. It depends on how secured you got it. Right? If you're in like an apartment building and you've cut off access to the second floor, yeah, it's going to be a lot safer than if there's access. But like the really tall buildings, the trouble with that, the really tall buildings in like Louisville, like let's say the 5-6 story buildings, they take a very long time to clear out. on upper floors, so it would be very difficult to secure the building in a reasonable amount of time. Because even if you like sledgehammered the bottom steps to the second floor, you still have, you know, 6 floors full of zombies that could eat you. You know, and you're not going to be able to clear a building like that in one day. So if it was like a small apartment building, yeah, it's not too bad. But it also depends on available exits. That's the big one. So I'll give you for instance. Let's say you're in an apartment building and you have 1 sheet rope to the outside, and bandits roll up with guns. And they spawned at the bottom of your sheet rope that leads to your car. What do? You're probably dead. You probably can't do very much at that point, because you would have to like run away. But the problem with that is they run the same speed as the player, so that's not super helpful. Because you can sprint, but you'll just probably die tired and with bullet holes in your back. So you're absolutely welcome to play however you want. I'm just telling you, without a secure building and a clear path of escape, venturing too far from security is potentially fairly dangerous. Ooh, bacon got stale. There is no bow and arrow, no. There's no quiet way to kill anyone without mods. There are mods that adds like suppressors and silencers, but not in vanilla. Probably take the lower of the 2 tanks out with the weight. You can stealth kill with a short blade, sure, but I think you mean in reference to bandits, and if that's what you mean, bandits, the hunting bandits know where you are at all times, so there's no hiding from them. You can't stealth them ever, because they always know where you are at all times. My library is really growing. And soon I will have more than 50 units of non-perishable goods in my cupboards. My cupboards are almost full of stuff. That's pretty good. Too bad I don't have more organization, but yeah, whatever. That can come later. I feel like at some point I ought to make a gas run, because look at all the empty gas cans I have. A small stockpile of unused gas. So I don't have the what to do next necessarily on a timer here, but once I'm done, I know it's like 2 in the morning. Once I'm done putting everything away, I'll resolve that poll. some things that didn't belong here. Cookbook, magazine. Okay. Thank you for tuning in to Project Zomboid Bandit Slayer, which originally streamed live on Twitch August 29th. If you have any feedback or questions for me, let me know in the comments below. If you would like to catch a live stream of mine, Rhadamant.com has my stream schedule and countdown timers to upcoming streams. If you would like to join my online gaming community on Discord, Rhadamant.com has a link to it, as does the description of this video. Thank you so very much for watching, and a special thank you to my Patreon patrons, Twitch subscribers, and viewers like you that support the channel and made it all the way to the credits. Thank you so very much. I hope to catch you next episode or an upcoming stream. Farewell, my fellow vigilantes.